Bitcoin bulls are charging fast and hard, while altcoins are showing lackluster movements. In this video, I'll be explaining and expanding the Bitcoin wave, which we see happening, explaining the Bitcoin dominance, and we will be unpacking crypto Twitter's bullish fever and altcoin fatigue. My name is Obi. I'm a prop trader from Hashed, and I'm here every day to make you smarter, to make you better investors, to make you profitable traders, and for you to benefit and make money from upside swings, downside swings, and to come out from all this a wealthy investor and trader. Let's just jump right into the content we have for you today. And this content is looking at Bitcoin bulls and what is going on. Looking at the 2025 Bitcoin bull run, it indicates to us, and sentiment all over Twitter, that the bull run is far from over. And this crypto sentiment is heavily bullish on Bitcoin, even with prices around $103,000 levels, and also with the fear and greed index at 74, indicating greed. There's a notable whale accumulation and hype around Bitcoin, which I've been reporting over the few weeks, and this is now contrasting this. It's quite interesting if we contrast this by bearish sentiments towards meme, Solana, and other altcoins, which are seen and perceived as overcooked due to scams and market exhaustion. Let's look at this polarized dynamic, right? And we highlight Bitcoin dominance because it's easy for Bitcoin for institutions to understand Bitcoin, unlike governance and utility tokens. So this explains, and this video with Pascal St. Jean explaining goes into detail why this is so.
Well, but I think why we're all, no one's surprised, but surprised at the same time that Bitcoin dominates this cycle compared to everything else, because this is more institutional capital coming into this space, and Bitcoin has overcome a lot of the things to potentially be deemed an asset class like gold or other things. It has hedging mechanisms. It has different wrappers. It's a little bit easier to understand. It's a digital gold for a digital age, whereas everything else, when we talk about the concept of a governance token or a utility token, it's a little harder for institutions to wrap their minds against what exactly am I owning? Am I owning the rights to future, basically fees from a decentralized exchange? No, you're owning the right to a vote on the protocol. That's still something they haven't wrapped their minds into.
So this explains all the complication that comes with altcoins, governance, utility tokens. A lot of institutions still find it difficult to understand these concepts. So it might take a little bit of time before we see a true-fledged altcoin season. But for now, Bitcoin dominance is so strong in this cycle. And this is explaining why we see a lot of bullish sentiment in crypto, even on crypto Twitter. And that is what is making Bitcoin dominance very, very strong. And when we go to the chart of Bitcoin, which we'll be looking at in a few moments, you see how the chart looks very, very bullish. And we're still maintaining the $100,000 levels as support. And we are ring bound in that area, which is showing a very, very bullish chart. So this is explaining this divergence and contrast between bearish sentiments on altcoins versus the highly bullish sentiment on Bitcoin from institutions, from governments, and from high net worth investors all over the globe. Looking at that, you can see also FOMO playing out on the government angle. And while CZ is explaining this, a lot of countries and we have been pointing out this, a lot of government institutions are now either owning Bitcoin through derivatives like MicroStrategy, or directly having a huge exposure in their reserves or their treasuries by owning Bitcoin.
US, with one of the world's largest economy holding Bitcoin now, or making a crypto reserve, other countries are forced to do it because the later you do it, the more expensive your crypto will be. So yeah, so I think we are talking with many countries advising them how to set up the crypto strategic reserve, and also like if you very simple stuff or very basic fundamental stuff like what wallet solutions to use. Do you use a professional custody solution, or do you use your own cold wallets? Do you have enough expertise to build that kind of infrastructure, etc.? So for most countries, when they start with this, most countries starting amount are now as big as US, where US have like 200,000 Bitcoins or something. For most other countries, when they have a much smaller amount, we actually just recommend them to use a professional custody solution that's multi-sig, right? So no single person can move the money. When they build up to a certain large amount, then they should move to their own cold storage solution. So this whole discussion.
So a lot of FOMO is driving this rally. So other countries will be forced to buy, will be forced to step in, will be forced to join this rally. And this is what exactly is driving Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin bull run. And sentiment is indicating this. FOMO from institutions, government institutions, private institutions, so public, number one. Private is also understanding, finding it easy to understand Bitcoin, highlighting the dominance. These two are very, very important. Then we also see number 3 with the stablecoin use case for banks. We reported yesterday the BIS and central banks are exploring using stablecoins in their payment rails for faster, cheaper interoperability solutions. And you can see 90% of banks are rolling out stablecoins. Even having in my day job, having discussions with banks, they are talking about cross-border payments, and stablecoin has become the use case, and all of these guys are on board. This is just another rail driving FOMO and driving the strength of Bitcoin dominance in this cycle, which is clearly obvious in the charts. You can see this is the next step and the next phase of tokenization that is enabling trust, security, and interoperability in a multi-chain world. This is where we are. And Ark Invest CEO Cathie Wood is also now predicting. Again, because she keeps on predicting and changing it as she realizes how bullish everything is happening on chain. That Bitcoin will reach $1.5 million by 2030.
New target B.
Yes, so we have always had a 2030 target, the base case in the 700 to 750,000 range, the bull case in the $1.5 million range. David Puel, our analyst and our on-chain analyst, put that piece out recently, and you can see the building blocks, how much share we expect Bitcoin to either take from gold or grow that store of value market. Institutions moving in, and they've barely moved in. We have 1 million more coins, roughly, to be minted ever, and institutions are just testing the waters right now. And then there's the emerging market use cases as well. So we think we have miles to go, yes.
Tesla.
If institutions are just testing the waters, what will happen when they are fully in the water? Whoa. I guess that's why she's indicating, that's what she sees, and why she has increased her prediction to 1.5 million per Bitcoin by 2030. All these institutions, government entities, banks, stablecoins, with the Stablecoin Act, all of this is driving the FOMO, driving the bullish sentiment in Bitcoin dominance, and building a very strong narrative around Bitcoin and holding this price over the $100,000 psychological level, showing us a highly bullish 2025, end of 2025, Q4 2025, Q4, Q1, Q2 2026. We just proceed and we look at crypto bubbles, looking at the crypto market and altcoins overall, and you can see we have a lot of bearish sentiment and bearish prices across the board, majority. So a lot of things not really moving. Of course, we understand that during the weekend, a lot of poor volume, low volume, and not a lot of people trading. This is evident in the prices. So we just be patient, use this moment to touch grass and to build our convictions, build our analysis, and look for opportunities. Even in the bear market, because it's during the bear prices that opportunities present themselves. So we look at the opportunities that lie in Solana USD chart right now, and you can see, as I said yesterday, and this really confirmed, the price is at 166. So we have closed yesterday. We closed yesterday on directly on the money, on the support of the 200 MA moving averages, and we seem to have opened today on that support. So we see where we are going to be closing today, which will tell us what will be happening, at least the weekly close today, what will be happening coming next week. And just above my support of about 163. So this is a very good support, and it's showing us bulls are holding the price at this level. RSI looking to be pointing back upward. So we might see a further move to the upside in the near term. Volume looks medium. So this chart looks bullish in the near term. Looking at the Ethereum chart, same thing. Literally the same thing. Also, we ended yesterday with the daily candle yesterday over the support of the 200 moving average. It's interesting how these charts look very, very similar. We are moving sideways now. RSI looking to be pointing sideways movement. So maybe we expect some consolidation around this movement, around this price action, around this price range. And we expect and we wait for price to tell us what to do. Looking at Bitcoin, same thing pretty much. Apart from is way above its 200 MAs and the 50 MA, which is showing incredibly bullish sentiment compared to those two altcoins, Solana and Ethereum, that I pointed out just now, where we seem to be consolidating around the $100,000, $105,000, between the $100,000 and the $105,000 levels. We are moving sideways. Very choppy market. But we are watching and we are paying attention to what the chart is telling us. And right now the chart is telling us, be patient. Be patient. And it's getting tight in this range. So we should be expecting a movement in the very near term. So this is making us much more concentrated on the Bitcoin chart. And we should be following the next move. At least the weekly close for today. That will be interesting to see where we close today. which will indicate what we'll be doing next week. Looking at the RSI, we seem to be pointing sideways movement. Volume, lackluster. So we wait and see. We let this price come to us. We're just building momentum around this range in a consolidating this for a violent move, either up or down, whatever the case, because we can make money in both directions. This is why we are here, to make money and not lose money, and to be focused, and to manage our risk, to take advantage of opportunities that come in this space. I'm here every day, showing up, being on top of the market, giving you all these opportunities, so you take advantage and you create wealth for yourself. And we end with this. Would you like to just be rich and having money, or being wealthy and having time? Bitcoin offers us this. All these opportunities offer us this. That's why we're here. I'll see you tomorrow from Zero to Ferrari. Goodbye.